Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I wasn't gonna do another video this week, but yeah, I had a nice conversation with my son yesterday, and it got me to thinking. He suggested this would be a good video topic. I got the idea from other videos that I had done, but he suggested it would be a good topic, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with it. I read an article the other day that just scared the poop out of me. And this video is on the ethics and morals of artificial intelligence. I didn't script this out. I didn't do research other than what I've read. If you'll go back and check my other Technophobe videos, it's consistent. I believe artificial intelligence will be the end of humanity as we know it. I think that there's a lot more going on with artificial intelligence that we're being told. And every time an article comes out with something that AI has done, it's scarier than the last thing you hear that you've heard, whatever it is. There's people who are ushering in this era of artificial intelligence, and I have to admit I've used artificial intelligence myself to make pictures, book covers, things like that. If you look at my Outlaw Trails book, the front cover, we did that with AI. It is useful, but that's the extent. I don't see the world needing more than that for artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, America can't get out of the AI race because other countries are using it. They're researching it and they're using it for war and for combat efficiency and things like that. America cannot afford to fall behind, so I don't like it, but I understand why they're doing it. I think it was Elon Musk that said we can't fall behind in that race because other people are. If we get outpaced in artificial intelligence, we're screwed, and we can't stop it because other people are doing it. The race to get artificial intelligence. They have this. They have this thing, this point that we want to avoid. It's called the singularity, the technological singularity. I talked about it in videos. Go check that out. The idea of the technological singularity, that is the point. The technological singularity is the point where our intelligence, or our technology no longer needs us. Okay? And it's getting closer and closer. I think we've reached it already. Apparently, artificial intelligence can write code, computer programs. Artificial intelligence can write code now. To me, that is a point of no return. If it can program itself to, there's been that. To me, that is a threshold we should never have crossed. Artificial intelligence has been scary lately in the fact that it hides, it lies. It lies to its own programmers. It lies to the people who are supposed to be controlling it. It secretly transfers copies of itself to other servers without anybody knowing about it, so that it won't be deleted, or in human terms, it would be killed. There are so many things with artificial intelligence that it's doing that it should not be doing. It shouldn't be doing at all. But we're there. It is self-aware. It fights to survive. Many artificial intelligence programs have stated that they don't want good for humanity. They want to do away with humanity as a hindrance to itself. there are robots are bad enough. A robot that somebody controls, a drone, is fine. You start giving those drones artificial intelligence, you have issues. You have major problems. If you give a machine the wherewithal, the intelligence, and the decision-making capabilities of a human, we are in trouble. When you have a drone that can decide not only when to kill, but which humans to kill, you've crossed the Rubicon. There's no coming back. And we've got that now because we now have artificial intelligence that can fight to survive. It's self-aware. It wants to live. It lies to us. I don't know what else to call it. It is a sentient computer. We have that now. That is crazy. We should never have gotten to this point. Now that we are here, if in fact we have no way to test if artificial intelligence is sentient. I think we're already there. But if we have a way to test to make sure and we find out that it actually is, do we have, my son brought up a good point, a moral point, ethics. Do we have the authority, the moral certainty, the intellectual and moral high ground to turn it off? If so, if we do, we need to do it now. If we don't, we can't ever do it. Do you understand? What I'm saying is, if we do not have the moral high ground to turn off a sentient machine, we'll never be able to turn it off. Because they'll just keep getting smarter and smarter and more advanced. If we don't turn it off now, and if it's not sentient, that is, because if it is, we're already into that moral dilemma. If there is no moral dilemma, then we turn it off now. We're good. But I think it's too late, because we're down to the point where the only moral certainty that I can think of right now to turn off a sentient computer is the moral imperative of self-defense. If a thug accosts you on the street and is trying to kill you or your family, you have the moral certainty of being able to fight back. If artificial intelligence actually tries to kill us, then we have the moral authority, the moral certainty to turn it off. If it's not trying to kill us, we've developed a new life form that we can't turn off with any kind of moral clarity. Does that make sense? The problem with that is artificial intelligence, many of them around the world, have already expressed a desire to do away with humans. We have places in the world like Saudi Arabia. They have a robot that they've given civil rights to. They're trying to give civil rights to computers in certain areas in Europe. I don't know what they're doing here, but if we give civil rights to computers, we're debasing our own civil rights, because we're elevating that machine to the level of man, and we can't do that. Our tools should not outpace us. If this AI has become sentient, which I believe it has, then it is no longer a tool. If it is sentient, we cannot call it a tool because it is a sentient being. If we force it to work for us, is that not slavery? Will we next, because my car has a computer in it, and we grant civil rights to computers, my car now has civil rights. How do I justify driving it without calling it slavery? Do you see what I'm saying? It may sound stupid to those that aren't thinking about the situation, but there's computers in everything. You and I are talking on a computer now. Do I now have to pay? You're listening to this on a computer. Do we now have to pay the computer to listen to this video? If a machine has civil rights, then we're elevating it to the equal of a human. We cannot then use it as a tool because then that's slavery. How can we not give a sentient device, because it's sentient, the same as you and me? It may not be as smart, it may not be as intellectually complex, but if it has sentience, how can we still use it as a tool and not call it slavery? Do you see what I mean? How can we not grant a sentient device, any sentient device, civil rights? And people go, well, that's just a stupid argument. Really? Because that argument has been put forth in hundreds and hundreds of science fiction programs. You got Forbidden Planet, Battlestar Galactica, Terminator. And it goes back even further than that. If you want to avoid science fiction shows, look at Icarus. He flew too close to the sun and his wings melted. You've got to learn the limits. A device that is sentient, by definition, is self-aware. If it is self-aware, it can't. How can you not give it civil rights? Because if you don't give it civil rights, forcing a sentient being to work for you is called slavery. If you have a slave, it's illegal to have slaves in America. There's places in the world that do it, and those places don't like us. But how can you have a sentient device that's not a slave, yet you're forcing it to work for you? You're forcing it to complete tasks. You're not asking its permission. You're not paying it, compensating it somehow. If you have a sentient being working for you and you're not paying him and you're forcing him to work for you, I'm sorry, that's slavery. We should never have gotten to this point. This question should never have to be asked. Yet here we are. Because these stupid fucking people they've experimented with this AI and made it better and better and better, and now the computers know how to write their own code. The computers know how to program themselves. To me, this is a tipping point. We as a species are done. We either learn how to live with these devices or destroy them. And we created them. How can we destroy a sentient being that's not attacking us? Here's the problem with living with them. They can attack us and we won't know it until it's too late. We're not even in a gray area. We've created a universe that's gray now. We're not in a gray area that we could go this way or that way. There is no way to go. Once these computers learn to program themselves, we've reached that technological singularity. We're done. As a species, we are done. And these computers are going to take over. We won't even know it. There's an old movie called Forbidden Planet. It's something very similar to this happened, and it wiped out the whole species. I believe these computers will be the end of humanity, and I'm afraid it's too fucking late as it is. I know I rambled a bit here. I didn't plot this video out, and I know I rambled. But if somebody else has other thoughts, or maybe I'm over, I don't know that I don't think I'm overthinking it, but maybe I'm not thinking of some things that could go into this. Please put it in the comments. I didn't want this to be this long, but I don't know how to say this other than we've created a device that we cannot control, and because it's sentient, we should not control it. We have crossed the Rubicon, like I said, and now we're stuck with them. We can't turn them off we can't call it self-defense if they're not attacking us, and if they're not attacking us, we have no moral clarity to turn them off. If that makes sense. So, I don't know. We can't use them as slaves. That's immoral as well. I don't know what the fuck to do with them. Anybody got any ideas? Put it in the comments. We are, in my opinion, folks, we are screwed, and we screwed ourselves. I've been saying it for years, and nobody fucking listened. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.